Poducer.
That's my brother.
I love talking to him.
I mean, I love talking to him. You can tell I love talking about him because every time we link up, we talk about snake blood.
Well, he's just like a good energy.
Oh yeah, that's the OG.
He's also smart as fuck. Like I'll be like, yeah. You ever have any friends where like you just know, like you could Google it, but you know you could just ask them, and they'd be like,
my boy Jordan, who I drove up here with, he's another one of them. Like, my girl was like, she's asked me about the computer, and I'm like, yo, like, I'm trying to let you know, like, I know how to turn this computer on, I know how to use this doll, and that's it. All other computer questions go to Jordan. Like, I don't even mess with anything.
yeah,
like, I know how to get on the internet, I know how to get on to Ableton. Besides that, everything else is Jordan. Anything else, I'll be like, hey, Jordan, how you do this? How you do this? I have a lot of friends like that, though. I say I'm a product of good friends, man. I'm literally a product of good friends because, like, growing up how I grew up, like, I you know, you're not as exposed to as much stuff. So it's like, as I got older, I've met friends who, like, educated me on stuff that I, like, still use to this day.
growing up like in like the Native American
like,
type of
like that, and just like even in the African American environments, not like just like it's just not exposed to as much stuff like that, especially living in like Native American like settings. It's just like you don't meet many people who do like a vast majority of things.
It's kind of insulated a little bit.
Everybody kind of does the same things. I mean, so in my experience, it was kind of everybody kind of just had like a rotation of things.
Mm-hmm.
Like the reason I had mine is because my parents were like a little bit on. My mom was the youngest of 12 kids, so she was already into like the newer age of like the world turning. You know what I mean? Like everybody else is like way older than she is. So like she had like I don't know. They just exposed us to a lot of stuff, and I appreciate them for that. Because like even me playing basketball and all that stuff, like my parents pushed me towards all that when I was younger, and like allowed me to make a choice about it.
Really?
Which is pretty cool. Yeah. So like my parents never was like, yo, you have to play basketball. They're always just like, yo, like to keep it real, like we don't have the money to send you to college, so like this is something that you could do and go to college and do. And I don't know, it's always just fun for me.
Do you have brothers and sisters?
I have a little brother and a little sister, and I have 4 half older siblings.
Okay.
So I was like our family was like the one that stayed together with my parents.
Word, okay.
So I have a little brother and a little sister. Yeah, I'm the oldest of the 3.
And is your brother tall? Because you're a big dude.
He's exactly like me. The same height, same weight, everything.
Okay.
Yeah, but he's like 3 years younger than me.
I feel like there's just, basketball, it's so specifically like the taller you get, the more people are just like, you got to do basketball.
Yeah, and like my parents were like that, but I just enjoyed basketball. And like it's funny now because like everybody says how tall I am, but when I was playing like basketball in college, I was like a shorter guy on my team. Like everybody else was way taller than me. Like my point guard was just the same height as I was.
What?
Everybody was taller than I am. So like before like 9th grade, I'd say like 7th or 8th grade, I was already a taller kid. I grew like 9 inches in one summer. So like this height, this height I'm at right now, I've been this height since I've been like 14 years old. I might have grew like 1 inch since then.
Do you remember having growing pains?
Oh yeah, I had like the Osgood Slaughter stuff in your knee, like where like your knees like just were underdeveloped.
Wait, what is that? Osgood Slaughter?
It's called Osgood Slaughter's like disease, and it's like for people who have like, it has something to do with like growth plates and stuff. It's for people who grow really fast.
Damn.
So I lived probably like 2 years of my life with that. And like my knees would just like lock up. It was like pain, and then like it just went away, and I was just humongous.
Dude, what? That's crazy.
Yeah, there used to be like with like the rapid, like I was already taller. Like with how fast I grew, everybody was like, "You're gonna be a 7-footer." And like now, present day in my life, I'm so fucking happy I'm not 7 foot.
Is
like,
7 foot just too tall?
It's just too, like, I think 6. I always tell people like I'm on like the lower threshold of like people you'd be like, oh my god, he's tall. Like I'm like the shortest like version of that. Like if you saw somebody else like even like 6'9" or 6'10", they're like a grip taller than I am. You know what I mean?
Really? Yeah, like every inch past like 6'7", you're just like, damn.
Like 6. I think 6'5", 6'6", 6'7" is like, I think 6'7" is like the peak of that. Like 6'5", 6'6", like that's pretty tall. I mean, when you see somebody taller than that, they're huge. Like,
yeah.
You know, I mean, even to me, I'm like, what? When I was in college, I played against somebody that was 7'6".
Holy
I think he was up there 7'5", 7'6". This big ass like dude from India.
From India.
Yeah, his name was like Simbular or something. He ended up being like a good like player.
He was like a chill dude and a good player.
Yeah, he
wasn't a chill dude.
He was huge. He's like so I'm 6'6", 6'7". He's 7'6", so he's like a whole foot taller than I am.
That actually just sounds inconvenient.
You know what I mean? It's huge. Like he doesn't fit anywhere.
Like flying and stuff.
Like even me flying at this height, I'm like pretty like crammed up.
Yeah.
Anything over my height, like it's like I don't know how you do it.
Were you eating good? Was that like?
Oh, is it? I don't know.
It's just like a certain point. Your genetics are just like we're just
fucking
and like it's
going. Crazy. It's like my mom, my birth mother is only like 5'2", 5'3". She's tiny. Damn. And my dad's like 6'5", so like I'm like the tallest in my family.
Whoa!
But my little brother's about 6'5", and my little sister's probably like 5'10", 5'9", 5'10". So that's tall for a girl.
Dude, but being tall, like, hey, it's nice.
It's nice. But I feel like it was way cooler when I was younger. Now that I'm just like trying to chill, I'd rather just be a little tiny guy.
Dude, you know, I've always been a pretty skinny guy, and now everybody's taking Ozempic, and I'm like, yeah, it's not even hard to be skinny anymore. Come on.
Yeah, see, that's the genetics. Your genetics are going flawlessly.
I could put on a little weight, but like, you know, people are getting those leg extensions too.
Is that a thing?
Dude, it's a thing.
What do you mean? Like what is this? What
Dude,
happens?
I don't know. I haven't looked into that much, but they like break your leg and they like extend it, and then it like throws off your proportions. But some people would kill for, you know.
Yeah, I guess if you're like a super short guy, I think that you'd probably yeah. I don't know if I'd rather be short or tall. I'm complaining about being tall, but I don't think I'd want to be super short.
I'm complaining about being skinny.
Yeah, super short would be, because I can reach everything. Like that's a good thing, but I do hit my head on like I barely clear doors everywhere. So
I know I had to tell you to duck coming in.
Yep. See, so like that's a bad thing. Like I'll get on planes, people like I'll like bump my head or something. They'll be like, "Oh my god!" I'm like, I've been doing that for so long. Like that's like I barely. If you would have said anything, I wouldn't even know that I bumped my head.
That's funny. Have you met Shaq yet?
No, that's the only person on my list I have to meet. Like I've been around like a lot through playing basketball. I've been around a lot of like people that I looked up to, but Shaq, I've never even been around him.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I've seen Michael Jordan at tournaments and stuff. Like
really?
Yeah, like, I've seen when that's the weird thing about basketball is like it's like you played like basketball, like traveling basketball, like since you're like I was playing since I was like 12 years old, 11. So you just see the same people over and over again. You just see them like multiple times over years until you graduate college, pretty much. And it's just like a very intertwined little circle. Like everybody kind of knows each other. It was weird. I've seen a lot of like famous, like it's weird to think about now because back then I didn't think that much of it. But present day, when I think back on it, I'm like, I saw so many like crazy, like celebrity type of people like growing up. It was wild.
Do you feel that way about like music stuff when you see someone that's like big...
Oh, for sure. There's been some people because like I'm just like getting started here. I'm probably like getting like I think like 8-9 years into like just being a part of the scene and like even just listening to the music and everything from like living in Iowa. So it's like a weird point of view because there's not many people who like are just like tapped into it. I knew very few people who were, especially this type of music. But I feel like I get it more now, like way more, because like a lot of the people, like I freaked out when I met Joe Nice. You know what I mean? I freaked out. Like Enigma Dubs and The Whittler were like producing wise and like how I modeled myself music wise was based off those two guys. Like a lot of my community stuff that I did, it was because of the WID and my versatility and like my like inspiration for that was Enigma Dubs. And when those are two guys who kind of brought me into the scene of like being in a wider scale, which is like crazy to think about. But yeah, like that's been the coolest thing about this whole thing is like I'm brand new and like just now going around and like I'm meeting all the people that I like drew influence out of like this whole time. Like people like Schlump who like when I came in the game I used to be like, bro, I want to be like the next Schlump, like just the versatility and the sound and the being able to play both crowds and then like being announced to be supporting on this tour. It's like a bunch of stuff like that. Like doing my thing has been dope. Like it's been fun just to like learn and like be a part of it and be able to see it from like a lens of like not like I didn't go to the festivals and shows and stuff like before I got into this. Like I kind of got into it head on and like saw it from like the stage point of view from the get go.
I don't think we talked about this because we did do an interview at Soundhaven. Shout out Soundhaven.
Yeah, that was the beginning. That was crazy.
Yeah. But I don't remember if I asked you what your first like electronic kind of rave was. I remember I asked you what your first concert was, and that was Beyonce. Go check out the full interview.
Yeah, Beyonce at Sesame Street Live.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So my first thing that I can remember now, I found out about electronic music when I was playing basketball in El Paso. In El Paso, in that area, this is like 2012. They were like electronic music was like their main music, like that
in
was
El
out
Paso?
there. Yeah, like that was like the main thing. All like the kids liked. It was like a big thing. So like my first show that I remember, I didn't remember this at the time. Like it was Valentino Khan. Valentino Khan, he used to have this thing called Trap Thursdays in the middle of El Paso. Every Thursday they'd have like these trap artists, like when it was really early.
Bro, Valentino Khan's got some bangers.
See, and I remember that name, but I didn't realize that it was the same person till like probably like 3 years ago. And I was like, oh, like Riot 10 was like a local. I've been following Riot 10 since he's like one of the first persons I started like listening to because like he was a local DJ or producer there in El Paso.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy stuff.
So this was at a venue there?
Yeah, every Thursday they'd have like a DJ there. Like I said, like they were already on like this electronic stuff like way early, like way like when I went there, that was like the main music. Like that's what everybody listened to. Like you go to clubs, that's what was playing. Like it was like a big thing there. Like they had been like throwing big shows like with big DJs already.
Did anyone on your team like have specific music? Because I feel like with sports, having like team songs or like certain things that hype you guys up. Did you guys have any specific ones?
No, I don't think like I remember like when I was at Milwaukee, like when we went to the tournament, they had like we had like this work don't stop. It was like I forgot who sang it. It was just like a popular song, like a Texas song back then. That was the only one we had one. I had like a team anthem, but not really. I feel like everybody kind of just, but music is a big thing. Like on the team, like music's always
people
playing.
Like have their headphones in and just kind of getting in the zone.
That's what I said. Like now it's weird because like I said, I get to look back on this because it's just kind of happened like so like rapidly since it started. But like I never played any instruments or anything like that, but music was always a part of my life through basketball, which was like my first music before. You know what I mean? Like the grind and mentality I had for this, like I kind of developed that through playing basketball, like at that level. So, but like that was like, it was like hand in hand. Like you had your songs and you had your stuff that you had, your routine of music that you would listen to before. And it's like so weird to think like that now we're doing this based off like loving music through like sports and just like even like now, like System of a Down, like I love System of a Down now, like which is so weird, especially with my friends. But like I remember it from like lifting weights. You know what I mean?
I was gonna say, so I used to lift a lot of weights. I was bigger than I am now, and like it would always like I think one of the biggest reasons why I got into this type of music was it had the energy, and it was in pursuit of finding the track that would give me that energy for the workout, and yeah, man.
It was just so weird now that I think about it, because like that was part of it. Like you blasted music the whole time.
Dude, I was listening to Pendulum. I remember that was always such a hype thing for running. What else? Like, yeah, just a lot of trap era stuff for
That's like
me.
when I got into it. I wish I was more into this music back then, because like I didn't like start listening to electronic music till probably like my senior year in college. Like my last year in college. So everybody was so I had torn my ACL, so it had to be my junior year in college. So like you can't travel with the team. So I was just sad, and I was just like up back when MTV used to like play videos, and I saw Ghosts and stuff, Dead Mouse Ghosts and stuff. And I was like, that's kind of like, I was already like getting interested in making beats, and I was doing a lot of hip hop stuff. And I was like, man, this is kind of unique looking. It's kind of like, you know what I mean? Kind of not looking, but unique sounding. And like,
It was different than what was on MTV. 100%. That one kind of poked through.
Yeah, it was like had like the cool beat, but it had like these vocals in it. It was fire. So that was back in like the Pandora days.
Dude, Rob Swire?
No, that shit was nasty.
Pendulum? That's what I'm saying.
That song is still nasty to this day. Like I still bump Deadmau5 songs now. Like just because like they were some of the first songs I listened to, and like it was like so unique, and just I feel like that whole era, like I feel like I got into electronic music at a good time because it was like right after like no more Daft Punk, no more Skrillex, like you know what I mean. It was just like a whole new. It's like the rise of like the trap stuff. So like I got in at the right time because like that's what like drew me to it. Like it was like the reggae influence, and then like that trap and that festival trap era came around. Like that.
I love that festival trap
year,
era.
Like,
yeah,
that was like the year of that. So like
I think that's we're like on the same timeline there. Just another thing about like sports music, it's funny to think about the tracks that are the anthems when you go to like a Bulls game or something. Yeah. Like Bulls, they got that. Dun, 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 dun,
oh yeah,
that's dude. When that shit, when that shit happens and like they come out onto the court,
for sure.
There is no more hype than that. You're just like, oh, let's fucking go, dude. Fire.
No, I remember watching that when like Michael Jordan and them were back. Like, I remember watching that when I was a little kid, like hearing those music and like being like, oh man, this is about to be popping. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I kind of like the tail end of like good Michael Jordan when I was like a little kid, little dinky kid. And I just remember that song in particular, or like the one shining moment, like when people win the NCAA championship. Like,
what's that one?
So like every year since like NCAA basketball, when they win the championship, they play like this one shining moment. I think it's like a Luther Vandross song or something.
Oh, fire, dude.
Yeah, every time it's like the tournament song. Like, it's like the song, and they put like together like the big I don't know, journey montage or whatever. Yeah, it's like a thing.
That shit gets me hyped. I'm not even that big of a sports fan, and I'm just like, let's go.
Yeah.
Or like I'm trying to think of other like stadium anthems, like Ken Craft, the Zombie Nation, where it's like
that's international, that's everywhere, that's the one, dude,
that gets everyone.
I feel like if you, I feel like if you just have like a big group of people and it just gets quiet, I feel like somebody busts that out. It's just like I don't even think I've heard the whole song before. I've just heard that one part.
Yeah, and also being a DJ. Like, you ever watch someone do DJing for sports games and it's very quick in and out?
I've never seen that. My boy Sean Hu, there's this dude named Sean Hu. Check out Sean Hu, Native American producer. But yeah, he does like Timberwolves games and stuff. I've always wondered how that works.
You just got to get in and out quick.
Like what? Like just any song? You just got to get like how
like
long? How
ball goes out of court. You like have something queued up and then you like fade it out when they throw the ball in there or whatever. Like it gets back into play.
No, I never even thought about that. Just like a little like 5 seconds.
Yeah, not long, just a little bit of hype.
And then like when like the TV timeout comes, you can like play like a whole song maybe.
Yeah,
that sounds fire though. That'd be like keep you on your toes. It'd be fun, especially if you're watching the game.
Dude, we need some dubstep in there, man.
That'd be crazy. That's what my boy Sean, who he produces. He's like I see videos. That's how I know he does it, of him just playing like his own tracks and stuff all day, like sneaking them in there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's fire.
That's cool.
That'd be fire.
That would be fire.
I haven't been to that many NBA games. I've probably only been to like 2 of them. I need to go to more NBA games.
Yeah, I've only been to a couple, and like we got the Bulls here. It's not the same as it was in the days.
Yeah.
But
are you from here in Chicago?
I'm from the suburbs, but I've lived in Chicago for more than 10 years.
So one time, listen to this. This is crazy. This is like one of my highlights for basketball. One time at my junior college, we had like this meeting, and we come down and we started like practice. Tell me why Derrick Rose walked in that mug.
Really?
Yeah, he walked. I guess like his like assistant or something went to like college at our junior college. We were all just like, I don't know. Back in those days, seeing Derrick Rose, that was like crazy. That might be one of the craziest persons I've seen like playing like during the basketball.
Dude, honestly, too, it's kind of sad because like I feel like he was always injured, and it was like he had so much potential.
He was so good. Like that might be a highlight. Like we were all hyped. Like it's like after growing up like that, it's hard to like make you hype because you kind of get to see everybody. But when Derrick Rose walked in, we were like, dang, that's crazy. That's Derrick Rose.
Yeah.
During that time, he was like disgusting. He was like the best in the league back then. It was crazy.
And Chicago, shout out Chicago, basketball. Let's go. I'm over here wearing a Piggly Wiggly shirt. This is Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Anyway, man, I didn't even do an intro. I'm just gonna do one because
we've just been chilling.
that's how I like to do it sometimes. Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome to Poducer, the podcast for producers. Today we're joined by Medicine Plays.
What's going down?
Yeah, dude, a little late in the game, but hey, dude, I always say this, like, what do you do, man? Like, you got a lot of stuff going on. Like, you've been moving around.
Yeah, I've just been. I have kids, so I watch my kids. I live like a double life. I watch my kids during the week. Friday hits, go out and play some dubstep, come back on Sunday, get right back to it on Monday. It's usually like my thing. Just, I don't know. I like to stay as grounded as I can in this whole thing. Like this was never part of I just made music because I enjoyed making music, you know what I mean? And like, kind of just like, this project kind of just like grew itself. So I say to say like, if I always say if none of this happened, I would still be doing the same thing. And if it ended tomorrow, like, I'm just so thankful for what we've done so far, you know what I mean? Because it's just been so it's been life changing in terms of I don't know how to explain it. I feel like I learned a lot of stuff about being a human being. Like, it's cool that the project popped off and it killed it, but I learned I got better as a human during this project. Just being exposed to different things.
Is part of it that you kind of have to learn how to, how you present yourself to others type of deal?
I don't think it's exactly that. I think it's just keeping at least in my experience, it's just been it's keeping as grounded as I can as stuff continues to go well. You know what I mean? So I always say I always tell all my homies I'm not in a battle with the ego thing, because I already kind of went through that with basketball. So it's as it grows, I'm just trying to stay as normal as possible. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to get a lot of influences and stuff. And I feel like I've had to work on things I've never had to work on while being on this project, which is a good thing. You know what I mean? I feel like it forced me to lock in, as people say now, of things I needed to work on.
Are we talking more personal stuff or technical stuff?
I'm saying all the above, the above. You know what I mean? I feel like it's been a growth in all categories, just stacking up attributes and just trying to learn as much as possible.
Dude, so yeah, man, I feel like that's a blessing because you have a path to go down and get those XP points.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think it's, like I said, I think it just made me lock in more and be more observant and see what things I could brush up on that's going to continue to help me in the future. You know what I mean? I feel like it goes back to what we were talking about earlier. I think that I can have that mind state to do this from playing basketball. You know what I mean? From doing that, from in my past, I feel like I got a lot of the super I learned how to trust the process with that process. You know what I mean? So it's been
you put in your practice. You feel like it makes you better on the court.
You put into practice. And I always used to say I never felt like there wouldn't be opportunity. I just wanted to be ready. I used to say I want to have ammo when the opportunity hits. You know what I mean? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to say it any type of way. I always felt confident that there was going to be a chance where there would be an opportunity to take it up a notch. And I always said I just wanted to be ready for when that happened. You know what I mean?
For sure, dude. So, we got some. I feel like maybe actually we should play some music because you sent me me some unreleased tracks, which I'm very excited and thankful that you sent over.
Yeah.
Maybe we give people a little taste of the medicine and then
for sure
go from there. Any of these that you sent me that we should run?
You could play. We could play Sleepwalking.
Okay.
Yeah, new joint off the album.
Is there anything you want to say about this before we run it?
Yeah, so probably this will probably come out before then, but there's gonna be this tour and everything's been for this album I've been making that kind of is talks about what I was just talking to you about, learning a lot. Album's called Wake Up, and it's just you know what I mean. It was a lot of tracks I made during a time where I started seeing things evolving at a rapid pace and seeing seeing more of like the areas, like the gray areas, like what I should do, what I should probably stay away from, all types of like just all types of different stuff, just learning lessons. And like this album's about that. Well, anyways, this is Sleepwalking with my boy IMC.
All right, let's run it.
Yeah, one of the best in the game.
I can see so many futures, don't know which to pick up. Maybe I should just say fuck it and pick one that's simple. Cause all these complicated matters ain't good for my mental. Plus nothing matters anyway, it's just me and this pencil. My pad of paper.
I love this song. This is one of my favorites off the joint.
These motherfuckers never learning, shit can be concerning. I see they lips moving, I tell them keep talking. We about to wake them up, I think they sleepwalking. I think they sleepwalking. We bout to wake them up. We bout to wake them up. I think they sleepwalking. In the valley of the shadow of death. Better keep your eyes open, better watch where you step. Better get your mind right or they'll fill it with fear. Who you see looking back when you look in the mirror. In the valley of the shadow of death. Better keep your eyes open, better watch where you step. Better get your mind right or they'll fill it with fear. Who you see looking back when you look in the mirror.
Shout out IMC.
IMC's fire, man. I met IMC just like last summer with my boy Musai, and he lives out in like Paris or something, but he's been like killing it. He's been like doing releases in America for a while, but that came together perfectly because I had that song and I wanted to put on an album, and I just remember his voice being. I was like, his voice would be perfect on here. Like all the lyrics and stuff he did himself, and like that is exactly like it fits the theme. It fits the theme of what the album's about. And
what is kind of the intention of the album?
Like I said earlier, it's called Wake Up, so it's like it's based around like a dream. It's supposed to be like from the beginning to the end. Like it has like a bunch of different types of songs on it. It's not just dubstep. There's rap songs on it, like boom bap rap songs. There's like liquid drum and bass, all types of different vibes. There's definitely some dubstep on it, but it's supposed to take you through a dream. But as well as like, even with the lyrics, it's like it's kind of like not an enlightenment. I say it's like a form of an enlightenment story. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's like, I say it's like the first chapter, like what do they call it before the chapter? Like the preface of like the real book. Like,
oh yeah,
I
like
feel
the
like,
introduction.
Like the introduction. I think this is the introduction, or like you mean like the prequel of like, what I want to take this project and going forward after like we're going into the 5th year, and as well as like I feel like I learned a lot of techniques, and like music wise I got better from making this album, like technically, like from a music standpoint. So I think it was just a great like I think in every way, from like the project success to like how it was grinding and like everything, just of being like a figuring out how to maneuver it and like staying solid through the whole thing and continuing to focus on like the process and getting better and like in a way just not settling and just continue to like to remind myself why I enjoyed doing this when I started this project. And it's been fun so far. It's been a battle, but present day, like I'm on the train more than ever.
So waking up and that whole idea, whether it's like mentally I mean, mentally and spiritually, like, I don't know, is that something that is like a battle with yourself? Is that something that you're trying to get other people to do? Is it something that you see in society? Is it like...
I think it's just more of like, I just like to be like somebody who's people around and like continue to have a circle. Like I told you in like the beginning, I am a product of like really good friends and like people who are like, were not only good people, but like had like the love for me to teach me what they knew. You know what I mean? Like, we always talk about Snakeblood, but he was one guy like that. I met him for like my first ever banger with this project I made with him, like the first time we met. And like from that meeting, he like continued to teach me what he knew. And like, you know what I mean? Not only in a way of like trying to like, in an educational way, I'd say, like in a way of just being like, hey, like, this is my experience, and like I had several friends like that, especially artists, like a lot of artists who I play with now, as well as like just friends in general. So I say like I'm I'm just trying to continue to be that for other people who need it. Yeah, like what those people were for me, I pay it forward with other people. But I feel like to do that, I have to continue to like hold myself accountable and learn as much as I can. That's just my personal journey.
Let me ask you this, because this is something I've been thinking about lately. Is like, you know, to challenge your friends or not to challenge your friends. It's like sometimes I feel like you can see someone going off course and maybe they don't ask you for help, but maybe you should say something. It's always kind of a delicate balance, but where do you sit with that? Because like, do you feel like your friends are someone who should kind of challenge you? Yeah. Or,
I think it should be like a mutual thing. I think it's just like I think being a good friend's hard, not because like, just because it takes a lot of work and a lot of communications, and same thing, polishing up on things to find like an even balance. I think it's a communication thing. So like, I think it's a give or take. I feel like there's some situations where like, I think you have to pick and choose like what you want to be involved in, kind of, and like how much of it is personal compared to like stuff that like, I feel like you have to be like, you have to like lead by example in a way, you know what I mean? Like I feel like your friends should like, like I said, like me personally, and I it's kind of a hard subject to talk about. That's why it's good that you're thinking about it, because I think about these same things.
It's tough. I've had situations recently where I'm like,
I think it just depends on like your relationship, but I think like it's okay to have friends that you like. You have people at different distances, and I don't think that's a bad thing. You know what I mean? I feel like you have to be selective, and like I feel like the people who are your friends will like still be your friends. You know what I mean? And I think it just takes communication. I feel like that's for me, and like what I do with my friends, as well as like what we were talking about earlier, of like trying to like be like the person for other people as like they were for you. You know what I mean? And I think that goes into it. Like I personally like friends like that. I like friends that challenge me, or like just keep each other on the right path. And like that's just my personal preference of like what I like to keep around me. Just people that are willing to go through the ups and downs through communication and like really understanding each other. I think it's a selective thing. I think you select the people who are around you. And
maybe it's not all the time you got to be like having like those tough conversations. No. That sounds like, it's just like, come on,
give or take. You know what I mean? Like I have friends, like I have some of my special friends that I learned from. They were like, for example, there's one of my best friends who put me on here. He told me a long time ago. He told me, hey man, like he pulled me aside like early in our friendship. And he said, hey man, like I trust you. If I'm ever like doing anything crazy, you ever see me out about doing anything crazy or like doing anything like you like you know what I mean, like just wilding out, he's like, you and only you come and pull me out of there and like get me out of there. And I promised him that back in the day, and like it was going to saying that, like there's been times I've like tested that boundary, but I've never like abused that power to just every time he was like, anytime anything was out of whack, especially like we were younger when that happened, to just be like, hey bro, come over here. And like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't even think to this day I've had to ever do that. You know what I mean? But I feel like just him communicating that to me and me being able to like know that there's that standard and boundary there, I feel like it's helped. Like, I mean, it creates a boundary with your friends of like, you know, like I told him that if I'm ever wilding out to pull me out of there. So like, I feel like subconsciously it just makes you be like, hey, like I probably shouldn't wild out. You know what I mean? Like it keeps you on your edge of your feet, at least from our dynamic, from what I looked. And I always appreciate, that's like one of my homies to this day, and I always appreciated him for being that vulnerable, one, and like two, like being that honest and being like, hey bro, like, and like also trusted me with that, because like there's some people who would be like, anytime anything went to, like come over here and like it'd be a big like preacher moment or something. But you know what I'm saying? I think it answers your question. It was like a long-winded answer, but I feel like it just goes with the dynamic, man, of like what you're into or willing to put up with as well.
I feel that. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where like almost the test and like the trials and tribulations is what makes the friendship. Like I strongly believe you have to go through 100%. Shit with people in order for that bond to feel like real.
I agree.
But yeah, it's just one of those things where I've been thinking about lately. It's just, you know, some people, going back to what you were saying about being awake, some people, I feel like in my head, are not aware of the subconscious whatever like thing that's driving them, or they don't want to face it, or they're not being upfront and honest with me, and I'm like, dog, how can we have a real relationship if we're not living in reality?
Yeah, I feel what you're saying, or at least like with I feel like for example, I always tell like people I work with now, like especially to do this stuff or try to do like and you'll know this because you built this up. Like to do stuff that like this, you have to be like a hit it crazy, and you have to like kind of push your own thing. And like people aren't going to believe that, but I understand what you're saying too. Like there has to be at least some type of accountability or some type of like. I mean, you have to stay grounded. So I agree with you. It's hard. I feel like being friends.
It's just interesting too because your friends affect you to an extent, right?
It's a hard thing. I think like friendships and stuff like that, like building relationships, especially now, is one of the harder things that takes like constant work. And like I feel like back in the day there was no like phones or anything. So like your friends, like you had to kind of get to know them. Like you had to like go out and like your friends were like the people on your block, and you had to go get to know them. I feel like now it makes it even harder, but the fact that you're thinking about it, I feel like it's the same thing I think about. Being a friend's hard, man. But it's like
it's funny how being a friend is difficult.
It is, man.
Sometimes
because it takes a lot of like both. Like I feel like a lot of people think like friends just like are supposed to be perfect all the time. It's just like having a brother or something. It's just like you fight and like you make up, and like that's what makes your brother like my little brother, like the fact that we're so close now is because we used to beat each other's ass so much when we were little. You know what I mean? Like from like those confrontationals and then coming back and being friends. Like,
oh yeah, me and I have an older brother. Yeah, it's the same way.
Yeah, it's like and you're cool now, and that's just being a brother. You know what I mean? I feel like it's the same with friends. I feel like there's like ups and downs, and like as long as there's a boundary within the two people, of like this is like taking it overboard, I feel like you should be open to having those conversations.
Yeah, I feel that.
But it is hard. I will have that. It is hard.
It's tough. I mean, it's the same thing with like family. Like you know, you just get kind of too close or whatever. But I feel like the common denominator is that you're always willing to like come back to a clean slate. Yeah,
and I think that I feel like those are the people who are your real friends. The people who you're willing to go through stuff and you could be like, like even family be like, like.
Sorry, I was acting a little whack.
Yeah. Even if you wasn't, you're like, hey, like, I'm willing to like mesh a little bit to keep you around and keep us going forward. You know what I mean? I feel like that. Like I feel like everybody on both sides takes a little like, and nobody's ever gonna be 100% right.
Yeah. And do you feel that like camaraderie with other musicians and stuff?
Oh,
you
for
meet?
sure.
Like,
yeah, I feel like it's like give or take, but like not give or take. Like the large majority of people I meet, if like I can't really think of that many that weren't like that are cool as hell. But to go deeper, those are like there's some guys in the scene, people like some of the first guys like Chief Kai, Salty, like the Levity Boys. Like there's a bunch of people I met like way back in the day, like before any of this, that like are still my good friends today, and I appreciate them for that. Especially like all those guys are doing their thing now, you know what I mean? But like, you know what I mean? Everybody says like I always say like I feel like it's just part of it. Like I feel like everybody wants to come up as a group, and like people branch off, but like those people like that who came back around like after like they've gone on, like I really appreciate people like that. Like
they're not like, oh, Malcolm, I don't even like acting like they don't know you like or
that,
something.
And not only that, like it'll never be that, but even like music wise, like for example, the Levity Boys, those are like the first people I met in the scene. You know what I mean? Like because like they were going to college where I'm from, so we were coming up together. And like even the fact that like we've always been like it's always love between me and him, but like even like before, like now, like they were the first ones to like being like Levity were like guys who like I knew before all this. You know what I mean? Like right before, and like. Those are my first people who took me on tour. It's Salty as well. You know what I mean? All the people I met before all this stuff were the first people to take me on tour before any of this. And like, I always appreciated that because like when they got their boost, it's like what goes into paying forward. Like those guys did that for me. So how can I not do that for the up and coming cats who like are coming under me, who like showed me love and like it set a great example. Like not only as like artists, but as like homies, as friends. Whoever took off, they came back and got the boy and pulled everybody up, and I've always appreciated that about a lot of the guys in the scene. So to answer your question, everybody's been cool. Yeah. But there's some guys who've been like overly cool to what I said before is like that helped me as like a person in the scene. You know what I mean? Of like how set a good example of like how I want to do it go forward.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's good to hear. I like like hearing that kind of success story.
Yeah.
Let me just check the time, make sure we're still good. You said you need to be there at 8, right? It's 7.
Around. We got time.
We
man.
got time.
We got time.
This is something I asked Contra, and I feel like it was kind of, I don't know, I kind of forget exactly what he said, but it was, sometimes I think of this as like data points. Like I ask you a question, and then I ask the same question to like 3 other dudes, and then we get some consensus. But one of the questions I've been asking lately is there any philosophy that's really been hitting home lately? Like any words of wisdom that you've been kind of, thinking about as you move lately? Something maybe you heard or something that's just come to you? Yeah. I don't know.
Like in terms of just like, I heard like, well, during this music stuff.
See, I'm formulating the question slightly. I was saying that one of my operating systems I said in the last one was like move slow to go fast.
Yeah.
And then another one that I have is like the breath comes first. Like you always have to have that before you can do anything else. So like think about that.
I like that.
Yeah, and I'll like write them on my phone, and so every time I look at my phone, I'm like, oh yeah. Even though then I'll completely forget about them, and I need a new one. But do you have any like mantras or things like that help you just like come back?
I mean, like I said earlier, I feel like earlier in my life coming into here, the one that's helped me the most is just trust the process of just like. I think that's like I hate that that's become like a big because like that's like a big slogan now in basketball, but like. Trust the process, and that's always kind of like been like my thing is just trust the process. And I feel like that if you're asked about main like stuff like that, that's always been what it is. And like I've always been okay with just working and just like as long as I'm like putting like forth my best effort, you know what I mean? Like I'm always just since day one I've just been thankful to have any opportunity, you know what I mean? So I think it's just trusting the process. And I think like it sounds so corny, but going into a lot of stuff I said, like present day after doing that, like I was just like looking at it from like the work point of view. Like I wasn't thinking about like lessons learned and like, you know what I mean? Like going through scenarios and learning stuff and like and I think that's what trust, like for my version, that like slogan has evolved for me of like, used to be just like work hard, be in the gym, you know what I mean? Be in the dog. But I feel like now trusting the process was just like I think what goes on what you said, like breathe in. What'd you say? Take a breathe in. Breathe in comes first.
Breath comes first.
And like, I feel like that comes with that of just being like, there's easy stuff to like crash out or like overreact to. But I feel like trusting the process for me has just been like being able to just sit back and just like be able to like really observe the situation. You know what I mean? Which is something I wasn't always that type of person. At all.
Yeah.
So, but
being present. Yeah, that makes sense.
So like, just take back, or like, you know how people say just sleep on it? I'd be like, just sleep on it, like something like that.
That always helps.
Something like I didn't used to do that, but like being in here, like it's been like so crazy, just like the whole experience. So it's wild to explain now, but it's been like I feel like that's the best thing I've learned.
You don't seem like a very like reactive guy. I mean, I don't know you super well, but I feel like
I used to be definitely less social before, probably right before I met you. Probably like I used to talk to my friends about like not being out and stuff. I think I think that weekend I was with you, I feel like that was like one of the first weekends I was like really out and about for like the whole time. You know
really?
What I mean? So it's like. And this whole time besides Infrasound, I've been to 4 festivals like early on in my career. In the 8 years I've been around, I haven't been to that many things in terms of like.
Are you not a huge fan of the festival? It's just like a lot.
It's just like a lot, and like I said, I'm kind of like a homebody, and I just like working on this stuff. Like it's very hard. Like even on stage, it's very hard for me to be up there because like I just like the center of attention thing's kind of hard for me, especially being big as hell. Like I'm humongous too, so it's like it's hard for me to like I don't know how to explain it. Like
you kind of innately command a lot of space because you're like
I just never been the center of attention guy in terms of like big social settings, you know what I mean? Like just be like, hey, like it's more uncomfortable for me. But I get a lot of like my confidence and everything from like the people in the crowd.
Yeah, like, and also doing the thing that maybe is kind of uncomfortable.
It's a privilege. Like I feel like it's a privilege. Like it's like I get nervous for medicine play sets now. And before this I played in front of like 80,000 people every night. You know what I mean? I get nervous, but it's because I see like the community and how much they're connected to it and how much like they believe in like the project. You know what I mean? Like they feel like they're a part of it. I mean, they are a part of it.
They are a part of it.
They know that they're a part of it. You know what I mean? And like a lot
you don't want to let them down.
It's not that letting them down. I just feel a lot of responsibility. Not responsibility. I feel like it's more of a privilege to like be able to control everybody's emotions for that 1 hour. I want everybody to have a good time while they're there. But not only that, like feel good and feel like comfortable enough to like make friends maybe. Or, you know what I mean? Or like really like I always say like I'll bring the medicine and we'll create the place together. So it's like more of a thing of like I just want to help create an environment where like people are comfortable just like even if it's just for that hour, just to like dance as hard as they want to dance, or like you know what I mean, meet a couple homies and be a little bit more social because you know like the community is more like that. You know what I mean? I would say like, even with the merch, that's why I keep it so low key. And like up until recently, it's been so hard because I do it all myself. But it's because I care so much about the quality, and I just wanted people like I don't sell it publicly because I want people to know if they see somebody in like that medicine play shirt. Like I always say like if you're like alone at a festival, you're by yourself. If you see somebody in that medicine play shirt, you know you can go up and talk to them. Like. And I've always cared about that. That's why I keep it to like my own personal stuff, like my groups and stuff, because like I want to continue to keep that like
kind of sacred,
or
like that it has meaning.
Yeah, I mean, because like to me, like that's the coolest thing about it to me is the community. Like people know me less. Like this interview, like this is more than a lot of people probably heard me ever talk of like while being in the scene. But like the reason people like it is because like they meet other people who enjoy it the same way I enjoy it. You know, I mean, from talking like this, which is something I developed through this project.
Yeah, dude. I mean, that is honestly, I feel like I wish everyone in a leadership position had that same feeling of like I just feel really grateful to be able to be in this position because a lot of people start getting a little like abusive of the power.
100%. And like I said, like I already like experienced that as well as like when I was growing up, like even like getting to do the things I did, I didn't have somebody like that. You know what I mean? That I could like, I had obviously good people to look up to, but like not somebody like me that was like doing something like crazy. You know what I mean? Like even though stuff little was like graduating college and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So like I always say like basketball didn't pan out, but like the reason that got me better with this, I always say like became more comfortable with it is like it didn't pan out, but I didn't quit. I got to experience it, and like now, like my son won't like I can be like what I didn't have in my son's life or other little kids' life in terms of like sports in this that little section that I didn't have when I was little. So like goes back to like trusting the process. Like I'm happy I had like the mind state and was in the space of mind to just sit back and observe and continue like learning. You know what I mean? So I could like help the next step. I didn't know that then, but like now looking back now.
I feel like you're bringing like the metaphorical punch bowl, and you're just like you got like the punch bowl, and everyone at the party gets to drink the punch, and like you're, you know, it's like a drug type of deal, and you're kind of bringing the
it's medicine. You know, I feel like it really is medicine. I feel like it's a very, especially from my personal experience, be out here, like even like from me seeing some of the people that like I've seen, like I feel like there's been some sets and some stuff that made me feel different. You know what I mean? Like they made me feel a little different than other sets did. So like once I seen that was possible, that was kind of like my goal with the whole production and like DJ thing personally.
I kind of want to. I mean, like you can tell me if you don't want to talk about this. And I didn't pre-screen these questions. No, so like, have you had any like exceptionally transformative experiences with types of medicines? Like we could, you know, I don't know. We don't. This is what I'm saying. Like
wait, what you trying to say? Like you trying to say like some like what do you say? Some hallucinogenic medicines?
Something like that.
For sure. I feel like that was like, but it was like that was something that was way before like I got into this scene. You know what I mean? I feel like I was like early to that. I don't know how, but yeah, back in those days, that used to be a thing, and like I feel like going into my first festivals, that was definitely like an enhancer of like the whole feeling of it. But I can honestly say like the thing that still attracts me to the scene is things the same thing that attracted me when I went to my first festivals, for sure.
Is the music?
It's just the whole vibe of like it was just different. Like when I seen like, for example, like my favorite artists are like, and producers are like my friends. Like it truly is that. I just think like I'm super thankful to have like such talented people around me, because like keeps me sharp, as well as like some of the best sets I see are from my homies. But like beyond that, like G Jones was a guy who like my first show ever was with G Jones, and I had no idea who he was. On like the Visions tour, I just got to follow him because like that was one of the first person I know. And I've had like some crazy like it just feels different. Like what I say is like over in from my experience, like there's been times where I've been around like 30,000 people, and like some people are like it's turned. There's a lot of people, but like everybody's kind of doing their own thing. And there's been other times where I've been around like in shows where like everybody's on the same wavelengths, and it feels like it feels like you're in a whole different world. Especially like I've had that experience several times, and like I feel like that was like super like cool to me, to be able to like heal people through music, because like I've had music heal me. You know what I mean?
I feel like I totally get what you're saying. I feel like some people have a potent concoction of what they're putting out there, and when everybody's in it like that, it is strong. And G Jones is definitely up there.
It's unique. And like I saw Tipper for the first time. Like I'm kind of just now seeing like going to like traveling and seeing shows, as well as like going to seeing shows on my own time. I've seen like a lot more like the last 2 years. And even that was like similar, crazy. Like the first night was dope. I wanted to see all my friends, like Eastwood Red, and like a lot of people that were on that lineup was like, that was their like main goal to play shows like that. And like I just get hyped seeing my homies like play like they're like what do you call that? Like their bucket list shows and stuff. So I went up there for that. And then but the second night, that down tempo night, that was my first time really just being in the crowd in a while, as well as like just like seeing that type of music. And I was like, like I get it now. Like this is like the crowd's into it. Like he's killing it. This is super unique. Like it's just I think it's just a unique scene, and like that's what still draws me to it. Of like just like the support, and like I don't know. I met some of like the coolest people I've met through the scene that like I probably wouldn't honestly or respectively have met if I wasn't doing this type of stuff. So it's super cool.
For sure, dude. Well, you know, I want us to have enough time and not to feel rushed for this show. You know, you're playing a show tonight with the Whittler. Shout out NSW. Just want to ask you a couple wrap-up questions.
Oh yeah.
Well, first of, actually, I want to just play one more track, and then maybe let's see.
Play the cycle. The cycle will be dope.
Okay. Yeah. Anything you want to say about this one before we run it? So
this is like one of the rap tracks, and this is by doing it with an Aquatic Cat Dolphin in Maitreya's, and I met them at a festival last year, and I was just like, it was like noon, and on the last day it was hot as hell, and I was just walking back, and there was these two cats that just had like this big crowd that like, it was probably like 100 degrees. It was like noon, and I was like, just a good infectious vibe. So I met them and like was a fan of them and their music, and they were cool. They're super fans of the project. So like at first they were the only collabs on the project. So anyway, just good guys. And this is like one of like the, like I said before, there's rap tracks and different types of tracks. So this is one of like the, probably my favorite track on the album. There are two tracks that are my favorite tracks. So
cool. Let's
totally different.
Doesn't matter. matter, I stay the same. Feel it coursing through my veins. What they fear inside has changed. They envy the way I play, envy the way I praise. This love inside, that's why I gotta be great. Gotta be focused on my passions, been running to get this life. Gotta be focused on this light, gotta be ready for the time. Gotta be knowing when it's right, nothing will blur these signs. I hope that they realize that nothing can stop this rise. They lost.
He's cold. He's nasty. He's super nasty.
Dude, yeah. This is nice. I really like this vibe.
But suddenly you don't fall, and all the love they show you when all of the work pays off. Oh God, then they back to asking more of you, and you ignore it. There's too much that you're unsure of, and they hate you for it, right? Back to throwing shade because you shining so bright. I guess they'll love you in your grave. Yeah. Cause they love you, then they hate you, then they love you again. Cause they love you, then they hate you, then they love you again. That's just a cycle they in. Cause they love you, then they hate you, then they love you again. Cause they love you.
Man, tap in.
Aquatic Cat Dolphin.
One of the best names in the game.
That's a crazy name.
One of the best names in the game.
I love hip hop music like that.
Yeah.
Really quick, I just wanted to ask, like, how do those fit into your set, or like, is it tough to fit them in there?
So we've done them a couple of times, and my intention in the beginning of this album, because before, like, man, that's also been so crazy of how much goes into an album. But anyways, we've set them in like so. Like at Symmetry, we played another song called "Heaven on Earth" so somebody got married in the middle of my set, which was really crazy. Like proposed to his girl. It was crazy. And then we played that right after. But to answer your question, I'm still trying to figure that out, because my whole goal with this was just like I love dubstep, but I just like making all music, period. And I just want to continue. I've always wanted to make like rap music, like figure out a way set wise to make it intertwine where it's not like it's cool when people come out for rap, like in my opinion, cool when people come out for rap songs like during a set now in EDM, but like it's that, like whenever I see it, it doesn't seem like it's like flowing with the show. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm like going into this next tour, and like between, well, everybody's gonna see this, but I'm working on like an album that's just hip hop and just more softer stuff with a super dope record label here.
Yeah.
And like yeah, you'll find out about it. But hip hop is something that I am. It's like I'm trying to figure like something that makes me me. So I'm trying to figure out how to have this flawless, seamless set where it's not off-putting. You know what I'm saying?
Like it doesn't change the energy in a way where you're just like, oh, that felt out of place.
Yeah, like you're like, all right, we're through the DJ set, and then like, all right, this guy comes out and raps, and then it's like, all right, we're gonna like make some noise for this guy, and then we're gonna start a DJ set again. So I think that's next on my list.
I think there's a way to continue to like, de-escalate to a point where you can fit that in there and then bring it back.
I've seen it in my head a bunch of times. I've been thinking about it, of how we're gonna do it. Mm-hmm. It's just, I think with this track list, once it comes out, I think I have the track list where it'll make sense to do it, and I'm gonna continue to try and figure out a way.
So let me just ask you real quick, because this is, you haven't put out any albums, right? This is the first. So what was just the idea of like, I want to write an album compared to like EPs and singles?
I just wanted to have like an intention of writing. So like, it was since 2020 we've put out 98 songs, like this project. So it's like, I feel like we've proved that we can have consistency to put out songs, and like I think it just like didn't get boring, but like it didn't push my creativity the way like I wanted to like stay passionate about it through like the humps. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of like an up and down thing. Through like doing that was cool for like the first year, but like during like the down periods where like you gotta keep grinding and keep your head in it, like it didn't push me creatively enough to stay through it. So like when that happened, like for like 3 times, I was like, oh, I'm just gonna make albums from now on. Because like it was just like, even with this, with Wake Up, like we had like a visual, like it just didn't, like it was just such a learning process. Like I had like a whole like short story, like music videos written for it. I had like so much stuff that I wanted to do with it, but like I never realized how hard it was to really lock in. And not only like, this isn't like 13, I think it's 13 tracks. This isn't like 13 tracks of just like people just like 13 songs I wrote. Like this is 13 tracks I wrote in a row to like go in a sequence to like with intention of like making, like telling the story of like Wake Up, which is like I said, like I think it's the preview for like the next album, which I'm already working on now.
Dude, I mean, I always think it's amazing when people like take that risk to do that thing to like show what they, because obviously like the singles game or like, you know, there's a game to it that you know how to play, but you wanted to do something that was a little bit more like, I wanted
to like keep my head in the game. I wanted to like find something that would continue to push me where I could like now it's eased down a little bit. I'm thankful things are happening a little bit more now, but like a year ago or 2 years ago, it wasn't always like that, you know what I mean? So it's like an upward grind. So I feel like it's just a lot of intention, and like even now, like I have like the next 3 projects. I'm already working on the second album, like already with this theme going forward. So like it made me like think about like the future of like what I want to do with the music and like what I intended to do with it, instead of like I said, like am I going for the bread? Am I going? And it's just like I'm doing this to tell the story of exactly what we've been talking about this whole time. Of like continue to be transparent through the music and continue to like use this as an opportunity to continue like having conversations with cool people.
Well, yeah, dude, I'm with it 100%. Dude, well, you know, thank you for coming through, man. At the end of the show, we always do like, you know, shout outs to people who have been pivotal in your career, like people you couldn't have done it without.
Too many. My boy Jordan in there, man, Obey Gray, Freddie Gallardo, Cooper, man, there's too many people, man. Alex Toffler, Dan Green, there's so many people who like believed in me way before. Snake Blood.
Shout out Snake.
Yeah, man. Like I said, I'm a product. Like I'll just keep going, but it's another 10 minutes. Like the people that like Austin Blythe, his girl, I can't forget them. There's so many people. I'm a product of good friends and people who believed in me before, like now. So like the least I can do is come in and talk to Jerry from Poducer, you know what I mean?
Let's go. At least, thank you, man.
Too numerous to mention, man. It's all love to everybody. Everybody out there who knows like they're part of the journey, know they're how they're part of the journey. You'll learn I have no problem telling you how much I love you and telling you how much you're a part of the journey every time I see you. So,
bro, I love people like that, because sometimes I don't know, man. There's like that saying, it's like it costs nothing to give a compliment, or it costs nothing to tell someone that you love them. And I think I've had some friends that have opened me up to that, and like, bro, why not, dude? You never know what's gonna happen.
I always tell everybody, I say, like, yo, I talk a lot. Once you got me, I talk a lot, and I say, I'm always gonna apologize, and I'm just saying, like I always say, like if anything happens to you, God forbid anything happens to you or whatever, man, like you know how much I love you. You know what I mean? I told you every fucking time I seen you how much I loved you. You know what I mean? Like,
dude, no, you got to do that, because I've had situations where it's like, damn, I should have. I wish I would have done that.
I can't have it. Like, every time I see you, I'm like, hey, bro, I appreciate when you first.
Likewise.
I tell everybody how much. Once you got this side of me, I'm gonna tell you how much I love you every day. Every time I see you, man, I don't even. You're gonna get tired of it.
Nah, man, I appreciate it.
It's all love.
Cool, man. Well, where can people find you? When is there a release date for the album?
Yeah, you just gotta keep your eyes. Go on Medicine Place at Instagram. I'm the only medicine place in the world, so if you look up Medicine Place on anything, look it up.
You'll
stay tapped in. Between Dreams tour, last end, and we're just getting started. I'm looking forward to meeting everybody.
Yes, sir. All right, guys. Well, if you made it this far, we appreciate you listening, and we'll catch you next time. Peace. Yo, what's up, guys? This is your host, Jerry. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed the episode, don't forget to like and subscribe. If there's someone you'd like to see on the show, leave a comment below. And if you're listening on a podcast platform, we'd appreciate it if you leave a review and hit that 5-star rating. Thank you for your support, and we'll catch you on the next one.